I continuously told my therapist that I felt like I had no voice. I still felt like I had to be silent. I still felt like I couldn't talk about it. I still felt like I had to tiptoe around the subject of and what I went through. I felt like the had their hand over my mouth. And it took a couple of times for my therapist to say this, but it finally set in that I was the one that had the power and I was the one that had the choice. During the divorce proceeding, I absolutely could have spoken up and come here, especially into this community on this platform, and talk about everything that I had gone through, everything that I was going through. I absolutely could have, back in 2019, come out from behind the scenes and climbed the highest mountain and screamed at the top of my lungs, I'm a survivor. This is what I went through. I could have. But what my therapist reminded me was that I was choosing not to. In looking at the grander picture, in looking at the situation at that time and going through the divorce at that time, I recognized that the consequences were not beneficial to me if I made that choice at that time. There were repercussions that I could suffer, that my child could suffer, that could be used against me during the divorce proceedings. So the one who really had the power at that time was me. The abuser wasn't silencing me. The abuser wasn't holding my tongue. The abuser was not causing me to not speak up and speak out about the truth of everything that I had gone through. I had that power at that time. I chose not to use it. Because the consequences and the repercussions would outweigh the need that I had to speak up at that time. So I finally acknowledged and accepted that I did have the power. I had more power during that divorce proceedings than the abuser ever had in his life. During the divorce, the abuser was on the stand. And on the stand, off to one side, was a monitor. I imagine, for the judges and the attorneys to utilize for, showing exhibits, things such as that. There was a monitor that sat right there. And I was sitting kitty corner to that monitor. But I could see the as he was testifying on the stand. And at one point, as he was sitting up there telling his lies, I finally got the courage to look him dead in the eyes, to let him know at that point I was no longer afraid of him, to let him know at that point that you know that I know that everything you're saying is a lie. I stared him down with no look on my face other than, I know. And you know I know the truth.